So the rainbow portrait, everything here exudes two things, virginity and wisdom, okay? And you see, it's certainly not the portrait of a woman in her 50s, but of course, this is the Renaissance variant of Photoshop. Of course, let's start. Yeah, if you look at it, first of all, what you see is all over the portrait. I mean, her necklace, her embroidery, and so on, her headgear, pearls all over. I mean, and pearls are very much symbolizing virginity in those days, because I mean, the similarity. Look at the pearl, similarity with the moon, the full moon, and the full moon is, of course, the symbol of goddess Diana. And goddess Diana, the ancient goddess, chastity, virginity. Yeah? This is Diana. So, yes, and of course, what ties into that is the crescent moon on her head. Yeah? The crescent moon, same thing, pearls, crescent moon, and a crescent moon, again, yeah? Goddess Diana, chastity, virginity. All right. On top of that, her hairstyle. Open hair. I mean, only virgins, unmarried women wear their hair open in those days. Usually, I mean, widows and wives, the other two varieties of women. Women, only three varieties, virgin, wife, and widow. So wives and widows cover their heads, or wear a bun or something like this, but certainly not open hair. I mean, very much virgins do that. And the same is true for her cleavage. So married women and widows are usually, I mean, up to their necks, covered here. This is not the case with her. So yes, the virgin. So this is one thing. Virginity symbolized in the rainbow portrait, and once again, virginity as one precondition for her to exercise power as a Petrarchist lady. Virginity is the precondition for that. So here we go. I mentioned wisdom. The snake, of course. You see it on her embroidery here on her arm, as the symbol of wisdom, all seeing, all understanding, wise, and which is also true, of course, for the symbol of the eyes, which you find here on her dress. Eyes. She sees everything, she knows everything, and she is the Virgin Queen, of course. Of course, the portrait is called the rainbow portrait because of this very rainbow which she has in her hand. And you see that, so rainbow in her right hand, and there is a Latin inscription there, non sine sole iris, which translates into not without the sun, a rainbow. Okay. And this means, of course, if you look at her white face and the direction of her gaze, she looks into to the direction of the rainbow, as she is the sun. She is the sun because where she looks, a rainbow appears. God's covenant. There's also, of course, an allusion to the Old Testament here, Noah and his flood and what have you. But yes, symbolic. It's a religious symbol. And, of course, here, symbolizing her as the major planet, the planet in the chain of being of planets, and the sun is a planet. The sun is, of course, number one, and this is her. So you know this very often, monarchs compared to the sun king, and so on. So this is her, and not without her gaze a rainbow appears, which means she has almost cosmic powers, something like that. And she's, of course, the highest being you can imagine. Very much so. I mean, there are, of course, psychoanalytic readings of this portrait, which you can follow, don't have to. psychoanalysts to see, of course, something very phallic in this rainbow, which would tie into what we said before, that she is also king, a phallic symbol, the rainbow, which she has in her hand. And at the same time, okay, you may, if you want to, see a vaginal symbol in her necklace. If you look at that, how it is slung around her neck. Yeah. Anyway, so yes, here there's more to it, but these are the basic facts. And what we have to see is that how important her identity as a virgin queen is, and how much it is symbolized, in this portrait, which was made when she was in her 50s. And if you once again turn to the sonnet we already talked about by Edmund Spenser, and you see the image of the Maker's beauty, this is what she is here, the idol, religiously, a sovereign saint, the sovereign saint. So something like this, so sovereignty and saint, mixing those two together, worldly power, and of course the what would you call it, spiritual power she has, because she is divinely wrought, divinely, and sun and moon. You see all those symbols here, which of course are associated with heaven in this portrait. I mean, this is all here in Spenser already, heavenly born, with blessed saint, reared with the blessed saints, and what have you, the beam of light, God's fingers directly from heaven, sun, queen, moon, it all ties in. And mortal eyes can only admire her. If you look at the portrait, it's clear. And we are just, particularly men, base things. And we cannot, of course, expect her to, I don't know, to stoop to our level. I mean, this is that. This would be stooping for her. I mean, we cannot expect that, because we are just, minor creatures. And she is, once again, the heavenly form, God's perfection. And this is the Neoplatonic image, once again, God's perfection, the heavenly form. And we are just men of mean degree. So, look at it. A great portrait, which very much, which you can read like a book. You can read like a book. It does not mean that here Spenser, of course, directly has this portrait, but this is the same discourse. This is what I say. The portrait and Spenser's sonnet, they participate in the same discourse on the Queen. We have to see it like that. There is a generic connection between those two, which does not mean, of course, that Spenser has the rainbow portrait in his mind, or the writer or the painter of the rainbow portrait read Spenser's poem. There are loads of these sonnets, and, as we said, letters and other writings, which all participate in the Petrarchist discourse on the Queen, which, once again, she used to exercise power. Petrarchism, for her, is the main instrument to downplay her male courtiers, if you like, and elevate herself to a quasi-angelic, divine figure. Okay. Yes, have a look at it. It's all over the net. You find it everywhere, the rainbow portrait. And there are also quite a few numbers of copies, bad copies, I think. I mean, this is the original. Okay, right. We'll take it from here. Thank you.